Hello everybody, this is Medium Jane Hamilton Parker. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about spiritual masters, spiritual teachers, gurus, Jesus, sages, avatars, spiritual beings, and Rishis. Now, Craig and myself, we visit a guru called Sharavana Baba, who's a Hindu, and a guru is really a person that takes you from the darkness to the light, like a teacher, and they dispel all the darkness and they bring the pupils towards the light. And they help people follow to reach enlightenment and self-knowledge. So they're quite a special person. The guru that we know, Sharavana Baba, has very much high perceptions and clairvoyance. And I'll tell you a little story how I met him. Many years ago, Craig said one of the students from Sai Baba's ashram said, this is Videk, that you really must go and see Sharavana Baba, holy man that's coming to Fareham. And I remember it was a Sunday, and I was thinking, okay, well, I'll go along, but I won't sit cross-legged on the floor because that's just not me, it's uncomfortable. So anyway, we go to this lovely building in Fareham. The person owned a nursing home. And as we stepped in, we were very welcomed, like we are in most Indian homes. And we stepped into like a beautiful temple built in the middle of this house. And I can remember beautiful chandeliers, clean and pure. And I sat at the back and I was waiting and waiting because the men sit on the left, the women on the right. And there was an image of a young man that looked like my son from behind. All I was thinking is, I just want my son to be happy, and what a shame what he's gone through. And you worry about your children, never mind what age they are, because they hurt you in your arms when you carry them when they're little, and they hurt you in the heart when they grow up at times. Anyway, suddenly the doors opened and this lovely image of this lovely man in robes, very happy face. Swinging this rose, first thing I thought was, that ruddy rose is going to come off in a minute. And he walked straight to me and everyone turned around, and I was quite embarrassed because I didn't know what was going to happen. And he handed me the rose and he just held my hand and he wouldn't go away. First thing he said, don't worry about your son. Everything could be all right. So I just laughed. Thank you. And then he went. And then when you see like a holy man, especially somebody like the Dalai Lama and people like this, they give you like tickets. Now I live at a number 23. A ticket come up 23. So anyway, we went up to meet him. And Craig is always looking for oracles, and he told Craig that he was the oracle. And he said to me, you and I were together in previous life. So I jokingly said, yes, and in that previous life, you owed me money. Payback time, Swami. And he laughed. He still held mine. He said, where is your rose? I said, Swami, it's in my heart. And he said, once again, don't worry about your son. You and I will meet many, many times. Spiritual surrogate mother. And I just laughed. And then we became great friends with Swami as Craig. And Craig's written 2 books and actually been to India. And, and we've had personal meetings with him as well. So that was a very holy, divine person that was showing people way forward. He has many, many followers, I believe in Switzerland and all over the world that's beginning, a bit like Sai Baba. And Craig and I have a property in Italy, which will be open next year for a spiritual retreat. If you want to put your name down, I suggest you do, because Swami has already kindly invited himself over there. And then we'll be doing yoga in the gardens, we'll be doing workshops. spiritual readings, and we'll have all different people from all over the world doing different things, music and different things. And this particular place where we are, I won't tell you where we are, there's 30 minutes to see that side, and then we've got the ski mountains and everything. And when I look out of my property, because in total we've got 16 rooms there, you can see all the mountains, and it's a lovely, lovely feeling and good energy there. So, you know, that will come, just as they've said. And all spiritual things and all people at the moment are all coming together, and we've got some wonderful teachers, wonderful avatar. One of the avatars were Sai Baba, and I'm glad I had the pleasure to be in his company and be there, Craig and I, in India. And Sai Baba was what you call an avatar, which is a sacred God form. His mantra was love all, serve all. And my goodness, we can do with that, can't we, in the world today? An incredible person. A very tiny man with his hair used to vibrate. You could feel his energy, his prana energy and everything. And an incredible man that came to help others. Now, when you get spiritual leaders, you're always going to get horrible people that are just skeptical people that try to knock them and say everything, negative forces. But, you know, at the end of the day, these special people come to the earth plane to show people the way and help them. And usually it's a lot of very ignorant or skeptical people that don't have an understanding of the higher things. Even scientists can't have all the answers, can they? Right. Now, Jesus, and people say, was the Son of God and sent to teach us all. And we have the 10 Commandments, the good values. So he's the spiritual teacher. And do you really know that the Holy Bible is one of the highest sold books in the world? And, you know, it's like when people say, Jesus and pray and everything, and also to Holy Mother. It's incredible, very incredible when you think this person actually came to the earth and once again was showing people the way and had miracles, performed miracles. We have holy people that can do miracles, but you know, his life wasn't in vain because he had good values and showed people. And you know, you've got so many religions and cults that are, some of them so mixed up that they don't really understand it, and that's so sad, isn't it? So with spiritual things, we need to keep it just simple, simplicity. Now, sages. Sages is someone who has attained wisdom and a mentor in spiritual and philosophical topics, and they were quite clever people. The Chinese used to have people like this, and we used to have priests and high priestesses and everything, and the knowledge that they had from past incarnations that they used to bring forward in this incarnations. We had Confucius, we were talking about the Chinese culture that had wisdom, and very wisdom and honourable people. Let me see what else we got here. I mean, the Dalai Lama as well. You find that most spiritual leaders have a wonderful sense of humour. They need to have, believe you me. Let's see what else I've wrote down just some quick notes. Rishis. Rishis is have Siddhic. They have powers. They have special powers that they can make things float in the air and materializations. What mediums would call an apport, and they make things happen, and they have that energy and things like that. And you know, these spiritual teachers have really come in our time to help us. They've always been there from the past of time. And I wonder if any of you have actually seen a spiritual master. I'm not talking about someone that's paid for what I call pyramid things. I'm not talking about somebody that's done courses or things like that. I'm talking to somebody that was born with a unique gift to help others. You can always tell a spiritual person because you feel as one with them and your energy blends in with them. It's like you've known them all your life. When I stayed in India and stayed at Sai Baba's ashram for 3 weeks. You could feel the energy. We didn't go out to the village because sometimes you feel that energy drops right down. But actually being in the presence of a very special avatar, it's like your energy's all as one, and quite incredible. It's like at last you've reached bliss, and you feel you're so connected with God, and that God's around you, and the most important thing, love. Don't go and think, because people say they're spiritual, that they're some good people. I mean, one leader was Osho. Osho, he had the philosophy of Hindu things, and then it got distorted because people, when in California, then they started thinking it was a free-for-all and doing all these things, and then they start to have guns come in there, and they start all sleeping around and everything. That isn't really what Hindus do or what Sikhs do, because they have good values and they're very family orientated, and families are very important. And most of the Sikh people, Hindu people that I've met, Muslim people, have a very strong faith in God and do good things. It's only when we get corrupt people that try to do terrible things, and people are trying to find God in their own way, and sometimes they get mixed up in these different occults and things. And sometimes there's one cult I can think of that wants people to sign that they don't have children, that so they can have control over that person, and they have to give all their money up, and really live austere lives with absolutely nothing. Well, these particular leaders live in luxury and start collecting Rolls Royces, and then have the finest Italian suits. Well, that's wrong, isn't it? And it comes, you come across very special people in this life, that unique people, and because it feels right. And when you go to a place like Sharavana Baba's, you've got people that very much doing a deep meditation, and you have your night lights and you're bringing all that energy, and it's so beautiful to be with people that's so lovely, and what's happening in the outside world and terrible things, it's nice to be where there's love and good energy. I've met many spiritual leaders, many spiritual people, and the message is quite simple: love. Be kind, be compassionate. People think they get away with things on the earth. Karmically, it might take time, like a jigsaw puzzle, to come together, but eventually it works its way through. Now, what I find so incredible is, in this life that we've got things like people being stabbed, murders, corruption, greed and everything. And like we've all been through COVID, and we've come through it. And now we're going through another phase on the earth where there'll be food shortages, greed and everything. That's why these spiritual masters are so important. It's my belief, if you've got a roof over your head and food in your stomach and you can afford your bills, then you're very blessed. But sometimes things go to the wrong people. Is it we're tested, or is it karmically? It's lessons. We've got to get through this. And when you go and see a spiritual master, an avatar, a rishi, they explain things to you, and they explain what's happened to you in your life. Because sometimes people think, why me, Swami? Why me, Babaji? Why me? Why not? How are we going to learn? How are we going to learn? But people think enlightenment is, I'm a spiritual person, I've gone in meditation, I've had this and that happen, I'm enlightened. A lot of people don't understand what enlightenment means. There are sort of holy men that are going to put themselves in a cage of, not a cage, a cave, sorry. Where did that come from? They're going and sit for meditation for 30 days, 30 nights, and just have the fasting, just a little drop of water and a deep meditation. And enlightenment is teaching others good values. It's not about arguing with people. It's not about the ego. I'm better than you because I'm enlightened. This is why these teachers, gurus avatars, holy people, show people the way. Now, you know, all these different religions, some religions have got such arrogance, they think they're better than others. No religion is better than others. There's only one God that we all pray to. And when we say our prayers and blessings, that goes to God, and we think of others. And you are tested in this life, very much so. I can remember when I went to Darshan, which is like a big prayer thing in India. And I remember I had these envelopes, prayers for people that had been in trouble, oh, please Swami, give them another chance and that. He looked at me and I went to hand these at him as if nothing you can do, they have to learn lessons, and he wouldn't take them. So it's a lesson to me, isn't it? Have a personal interview that you can't help everybody. People have got to help themselves at times. But the spiritual path, you don't have to be any particular religion, as I say. There's only one religion, and that's the religion of love. Be compassionate, help others. But it doesn't mean you've got to be a walkover. Because my goodness, didn't Jesus have a temper when he used to go to the money lenders in the temples and turn over the tables and things? So everyone has to have tolerance in this life, and love and compassion. Now, when I go and see Sharavana with Craig and Celeste and others, it feels so as one. It feels so right. We're not looking to reach nirvana. We're not reaching for riches. We're just reaching really to be in the company of other spiritual people and to feel the love radiate. And Sharavana, in my view, is a person that can do that. Because once I had a dream that Swami, Sai Baba, came to me, and he looked at me, he said, spiritual surrogate mother. There's only one holy mother, which is Jesus' mother, spiritual holy mother. And I laughed. I didn't understand it, but I do understand it now, because I have many people that come to me, many problems, so you have to take them under your wing, and you've got to give love. And sometimes that person might just need a hug and some love and just some understanding. And so you had to be strong when you're dealing with these things. And Sai Baba's come many times to me, not just in dreams. I have seen him in the spiritual room. And he used to sort of be like, I see like a naughty child play humorous games and things. And the same like with Sharavana Baba, because I know he likes nice glittery things. You find spiritual people do. And I said, I like your diamond earrings, Sharavana. And he would laugh and he would say, expensive, not so expensive. And delightful to be in his company, absolutely wonderful. A wonderful, wonderful man. If you can look up Sharavana Baba, he has a temple in London, in Barnet, in London, and a temple in India. He's always asking me to go to India. Well, I'm finding it's too long travelling, too long, and he understands that, and I don't stop Craig going. But when he's come to this house and blessed this room, and it's been a wonderful experience, and the energies last for weeks. You can feel his energy. Now, teachers are there to teach you good values, are there to help you and show you the way. And, you know, when you come across special people with special Siddhic powers, like Rishis and that, it's incredible when you see these things, and incredible when you see paranormal things with the physical eyes, not just with the mind, and experience that and see things that suddenly appear in front of you. I once saw a great big giant ghost ball, and I saw orange going through it. And I actually put my hand through it and it came out like that. It's like an energy there. And that's always followed me from a very young child. And that's, I don't have fear of anything like that. And, you know, it's like when people come towards the end of their life and they have loved ones that come for them. Some people die alone, some people die in some person's arms or hospital, but you know, it's not just like the endorphins breaking down in the brain or anything like that, or the process where it goes out like a light like that. It's obviously like an energy that comes, and you have a loved one that comes to you, you know, and that's a wonderful experience. And though people do fear death, and death is pretty horrible when you think of it, because life on earth is so short and time goes so quickly. Your children grow up, your grandchildren grow up, everybody grows up. But if you have a true spiritual life, a good family life, good grandchildren's life, then things happen and come to you. You know, I like the Sikh people, I like the Hindu people, I like the Muslim people, I like Christian people, I like all religions people, and we can't be judgmental of anybody because we don't know what they've been through, but we can be teachers, great teachers, and help people to find inner peace. That's what we need, inner peace and love and compassion, contentment, and happiness. That's what we need, happiness, a big smile where that comes. Now, at the moment, we've got all things happening around the planet. We've got a war going on and different things like that. And you may say, where are these teachers? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And, you know, if you want to really find a good spiritual teacher, you will be led to one. Definitely. Craig's very good at teaching. He's been a spiritual teacher. He does workshops and lectures. Very knowledgeable, written very good books. But sometimes they're quite highly intellectual that some people won't understand. But they're very good teaching books. Now, Craig and I was born like we were, and we've dedicated our life to service. And we're in the place that God wants us to be at times, sometimes not always in those places, but it's so nice when you come together as spiritual people, and it doesn't matter what faith, as long as they're good people. Now, if you come across a spiritual master, have respect for them. Never point your toes at a spiritual master. It's disrespectful. Give up loving thoughts, open your heart. It's not about going to a spiritual master and asking, when am I going to win the lottery? Can you give me lottery numbers? That's not what it's about. It's to take you on a place, a divine pathway to show you the way. And when you start doing that and giving and helping others, you're gathering good karma too. Because there's a lot of wicked people at the moment around, and corrupt people, fraud people, and we've got to flush them out. So that's what's happening. So this is the year 2022, that we're seeing all bad people and horrible things happening. And it will get better for us in 2023. And that's when we'll see more stronger masters, sages, rishis, holy men, holy women coming, and they will lead you the right way. So if you're very blessed to go in front of a holy person and have darshan or homa, which is a sacred flame, then you're very lucky that you found that place and guided. Now, I have many Indian people that are very lovely. I like the non-violence. I love their family, how they're family orientated and everything. Now, a little bit of suffering, you know, sometimes it's like when we went to Puttapati in Sai Baba's ashram, stayed there 3 weeks. You can see selfish people try and jump queues. You can see people, all kinds of problems and everything, and that. Very selfish people as well, but all from different parts of the world coming there. And I was called in the inner temple, and I saw Krishna's chariot there, And I thought, and I saw the ceiling all painted with lovely like angels. And I thought, all my life I've wanted to meet God, and how blessed am I to be in the presence of such a form, God form. I travelled there with an Indian doctor, Craig, and Carol, and some other people that we just met 6 weeks previous and everything. And it was quite lovely with that experience. Very hard work, having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, queue up for say 2 hours, and then Sai Baba might suddenly appear at 7:30. And I can remember one particular day when I first went there, because we were quite jet lagged. I kept thinking, Swami, hurry up and have your breakfast. This is killing me. This is worse than childbirth. And I just had that thought. Suddenly, this beautiful being suddenly floated and stood in front of me. And the first thing I thought, oh my goodness, he's picked up my thoughts telepathically, and laughed. He looked at me and he laughed. And then went, I thought, oh, he's had a cosmic joke with me. Anyway, when I was in the inner temple, and suddenly I smelled this most wonderful fragrance of jasmine flowers. And Prida said, Jane, Swami's blessing you. Still being a doubting Thomas, looking, I thought, well, he's over there and I'm here. And he put his hand up and I could feel his energy. And it was a wonderful experience. Now, many years passed afterwards, and Craig always says to me, what would you like for Christmas? Well, there's nothing I want. I've got everything I possibly want. And I said, oh, I don't know. And he commissioned an artist, it's passed on now, an Indian artist, to do a painting in the ashram of Sai Baba. And Sai Baba came down his steps from where he lived in the ashram, and he put his hand in that painting. And I've always said that when we get a spiritual centre, that will go up there. And his handprint's still in that painting. It's a form of healing and everything. And I've had many people. I've had one of them that was a leader of China that had the 7 principles of China, and his granddaughter came to me and gave me a lovely books and everything. That will also go in the ashram. And also a wonderful monk, that was a healing monk, Harapia, that will go in there too. So it's all spiritual things. And when people ask, who's that, who's this, then you can tell the story and what it means to them. Now, where we're going to be will be, there's 2 churches there, 2 Catholic churches, because you remember in Italy, the Catholics, and one's called, I won't give the name away because you'll know where we are, but when we get this place, I'll have to have it blessed by a priest, and then I will also have Sharavana will come there and bless it and everything. So at the moment we're trying to learn Italian. It's not easy. We've got a wonderful Italian teacher, but we've, are so busy people. We will pick it up, the dialogue. We will pick it up, and we just got to put more practice into it. But because we're working towards the spiritual centre, trying to get it done and have it as best as we can. I mean, it costs a lot of money to have new electrics put in, new plumbing and everything like that. And we've done it all ourselves. So it hasn't come out our foundation. That foundation is for the patrons and a place to be guest on our TV show. But this is something that if you work hard, then things come to you. But if you want to come to spiritual retreats and you want to put your name down, then please contact on our website www.psychics.co.uk and go on the waiting list, because believe you me, there's people from Switzerland all over the world that want to come, and it'd be a pleasure meeting you, because we have got an olive grove there, we've got quite a few grounds there, and we will have a memory seating area who actually owned this villa, so villagers can sit there, and also I will have the lady and gentleman in the hall there. So they were very good people that owned this property. They put a school in the village, there's a museum named after them, and they were very good people. They never had children, so they done a very good thing, and I felt they wanted us to have it because there was 3 people after this villa, and and we've got a wonderful architect and people that work for us, and it fell into place because this lady actually came to me in a dream and told me what she would like. And there's still her clothes that are remaining in the wardrobe and some furniture, and we've got 5 cellars with all things, so it will all be put into good use. And if there's things there, vintage clothes, things we can sell, then we can feed the poor in India or here. So it will all go to good use because she was a good person giving. Now, have you come across any spiritual good people, not necessarily in a cult, good people that have given you a wonderful experience that you can talk about? You know, that Yogananda, have you met Yogananda? Have you met Swami Sai Baba? Have you met the Dalai Lama? Have you met Gandhi? Have you met Mother Mia? Have you met so many spiritual people that perhaps you'd like to talk about? And I will get back to you. I will get back to you. But I want to say, you know, while we've got difficult times at the moment, just think of the power of good and reaching out and helping others. See how much time I've got here. 31 minutes, gosh. Well, I believe that we're going to have the right people come into our lives, and there's a past clearing, and that all these terrible things happening around the world at the moment is all coming to the surface, being exposed, and people that have done wrong are going to be exposed and will pay the price for it. So please do tell me if there's anything you'd like to talk about in the future. And once again, I've got to say thank you for coming to my channel, listening to me. I know I waffle at times, but I'm so passionate about spirituality, so passionate about meeting people from all different religions, all different ethnic groups, so passionate because, you know, it's a beautiful world, but it's people in it at the moment. And there seems to be a lot of darkness before we go towards the light. But it will change. It will change. So I'm going to say God bless you all. Be happy. Watch this channel. Watch us every Friday. And I'm pleased to report we now have got the studio that's going to go live now on a Friday at 7 o'clock. We have got helpers. I will have people on. Craig and I will have people on as guests. If you want to talk about a spiritual experience, if you've had an out-of-body experience, or you've been on the operating table, or you've had a cardiac arrest and you suddenly felt an angel that saved you, or if you've had psychic phenomena and things like this. But this isn't going to be in our Saints Room. It's not going to be an opportunity for other psychics jumping on like that. This is going to be real people that have had real experiences. Okay, anyway, ciao, arrivederci.